the dumbest person is on television, in my always humble opinion? Appearing on television on a daily basis. Actually, Sonny Hostin on The View. Today is the 4-year anniversary of January 6, 2021, a day that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have said is the worst day in America since the Civil War. Now, I've been on this for a while. I'm a history nerd. Anyone who says that is both historically illiterate and also a moron, because Pearl Harbor is kind of a big day. Kind of a bad day for America when we got attacked by Japan and drawn into World War II. 9/11, among others, certainly the Great Depression, but 9/11, when we were attacked by Muslim fundamentalist terrorists and they destroyed the trade centers and flew into the Pentagon, also a pretty awful day for America. Compared to January 6th, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have tried to make that argument. I did think it was just desserts for Kamala Harris. Congratulations to her for becoming the first black woman to ever preside over the Senate and count all the electoral votes that symbolized her defeat. 312 electoral votes for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. And that, she shattered that glass ceiling. Congratulations to Kamala Harris for, again, counting the votes to show everybody how bad she lost. Huge moment for black women and women in particular everywhere. But Sonny Hostin is actually dumber than Kamala Harris. She's actually dumber than Joe Biden. She's dumber than Joy Behar. She's dumber than Whoopi Goldberg. She is the dumbest person appearing daily on television in America. She just is historically illiterate. And also, even with a huge staff of people to try to keep her from being a moron, she said this today. Watch.
I think we need to find moral clarity, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. Mm-hmm. I say no. You don't move on, because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
She's so dumb, it makes my brain actually hurt for her stupidity. She compared January 6th to the Holocaust. Concentration camps by Nazis that killed 6 million Jews is similar to a protest 4 years ago on January 6th, where only one person died, Ashley Babbitt, inside of the Capitol, and that's because she was shot by a police officer. She compared it to the Holocaust. First of all, America's actually on the good side when it comes to the Holocaust. Do you know who freed most of the prisoners, many of them, inside of concentration camps? American soldiers. So you don't understand American history if you reference the Holocaust and you blame America for the Holocaust. You're a moron, as clearly she is. But it's a multi-year attempt to exterminate the Jews. Everyone who's Jewish should be utterly baffled, befuddled, and castigating this woman like crazy, and so should everyone who's not Jewish. Also, slavery. Look, every single person watching this or listening to this right now, at some point in your history, has either had relatives, ancestors, who were slaves and or enslavers. Every single person. Because slavery was actually incredibly common throughout human history. I know that morons without much knowledge of world history try to say that United States slavery was some kind of unique outlier. The reality is it was not. White people, Asian people, Hispanic people, black people, everybody has been slaves and has been enslavers. We all have that blood inside of our veins because all of our ancestors did both. You have to be a historical moron not to understand this. Sunny Hostin herself went viral recently when it was determined that her ancestors in recent history in Puerto Rico owned slaves, and that was one way that her family became wealthy. Okay? She's an imbecile. But to compare January 6th to the Civil War in any way is crazy. To compare it to the Holocaust or slavery is so dumb that if ABC had any intelligent leadership at all, which it's Bob Iger, so they may well not, they would pull her off the air, not for what she said, but because she is too dumb to continue to be able to go on air. Moreover, if you are a fan of Sunny Hostin, and I don't know that these people exist, you are actually too dumb to watch television. Because the only thing dumber than Sunny Hostin is Sunny Hostin's fans. And if you guys think I'm being unfair, I will continue to utter, they called me a white supremacist on The View. I will continue to offer this. I will show up on The View solo, and I will take the 4 or 5 of them on 5-1, 4-1, whatever numbers. They can bring in reinforcements if they need it. And I will go into their studio in front of their live studio audience, and I will rise up and dunk on them harder than Scottie Pippen on Patrick Ewing back in the day. I will hang on the rim. I will go balls to the face on them. I will be completely without mercy because I would utterly eviscerate them, debating any subject, anytime, any place, anywhere that they want me to show up. I will show up and eviscerate them. But Sunny Hostin is the dumbest person on television on a daily basis, and actually an insult to Disney and ABC that she continues to be given the opportunity to do that show. By the way, if she wanted to leave and do her own show, that's fine. Nobody would watch. It'll be like Don Lemon. Don Lemon's on CNN for 20 years. He has no actual fan base. Nobody cares about him. Guy leaves CNN, he can't even get 200 people to watch his YouTube channel. No platform, no audience, no significance. It's not just Don Lemon. There's lots of dudes like that. Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, most of the people on MSNBC. They couldn't make a living in media without the networks paying them to be on their shows. Sunny Hostin's a perfect example of this.